Sundus from Germany.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
So I'm going to make this as understandable as possible. So my friend, her mother, like the side of her mother, they're Shia. So she told me that they're like not the kind of Shia that curse Aisha radiallahu anha, that say the Quran is not complete or something like that. She says that her mother told her that she follows Ahlul Bayt, and that in Salat it's a little different. Like after the third, like in the third rak'ah and the fourth rak'ah, after Surah Al-Fatiha, they say tasbih. So my question actually is, my friend was talking about how like the southern part of Lebanon is being like bombarded there, and her mother is like obviously crying and really upset, and my friend is also upset for her mother. So my question is, if I'm like supporting my friend or sympathizing with her or being there with her, is this like wrong of me? Because I'm afraid that this would count as me being an ally to the Shia, and also like being a major sin, or maybe pushing to kufr, or I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking.
We've said this before many times. Shia are categories and levels. And the level you've mentioned, which is that they don't curse Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and the rest of the companions, may Allah be pleased with them. They don't slander Mother Aisha. They don't say that the Quran is distorted and it's missing few chapters here and there, missing few verses here and there, all fabricated stuff from their heads, stating that it has been changed. As the people of Iran, the regime of Iran thinks and believes, and this is in their literature, we have it in our bookshelves, we have it in our libraries, and they've stated it in their lectures that the book of Allah is distorted and changed. They've said this, and they have books, and their imams who are in Qum and Mashhad and the rest of the places, that innovated places they have, and their shrines, they believe in these things and they consider them to be imams. Now the rest, like the ones you've mentioned, they're Muslims. They're our brothers and sisters. We sympathize with them, we support them, we are with them, our hearts are with them, because they're Muslims. Definitely nobody approves of what's happening, of shelling and killing civilians anywhere in the world, let alone in Lebanon or here or there. So yes, there is no problem in supporting your friend, inshallah. There are so many schools of thought around him, and he doesn't know who to follow. Salafis, Wahhabis, Ash'ari, Maturidis, Mu'tazila, Khawarij. So whom should he follow? I would instruct you with the thing that I believe in. So something that is known as Wahhabi does not exist. There isn't anything as the Wahhabi sect. This is a slogan. This is something that the super Sufis and the Shia and all those who are not part of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they use to degrade the followers of the Sunnah, the followers of the Salaf, the followers of the authentic aqeedah. So how can they label them with something that intimidates people? So they call, they're Wahhabis. There isn't any Wahhabi school of thought. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, may Allah have mercy on his soul, was a follower of the Hanbali school of thought. In Aqeedah, he was completely following Sheikh Islam bin Taymiyyah. So there isn't anything as such as Wahhabi, but this is what the Americans and the Europeans usually say when they want to give a halo or some sort of glow to Saudi Arabia, so that they would intimidate people away from them. What Saudi Arabia is following is the Quran and the Sunnah with the belief and understanding of the Salaf. This is part of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. This is what I follow. This is what I believe. So if it comes to Ash'ariyah or Maturidiyah, they have a big problem with the Asma and Sifat, with the names of Allah and the attributes of Allah. So that is why in this aspect they're not part of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. When you go to other sects that have a lot of innovation, that have a lot of deviation in aqeedah. So as a layman, you ask me, what can I do? I don't know. I come from the Philippines. I come from Indonesia. I come from Mali. For example, well, Mali, we can't talk about Mali. What can we do? Well, akhi, you have to find someone you trust. Because you don't know Arabic and you do not memorize the Quran and you cannot find the authentic rulings on your own. So you have to have someone to help you. It's like when you have pain in your stomach, you just can't Google it. You have to go to a physician, to a doctor, and he would examine you and then give you the solution. Therefore, you have to have a sheikh, you have to have an imam that you trust his religion, his knowledge, that you trust his akhlaq, his conduct, his aqeedah. Someone you can tell him, I'm a blind man, guide me. And you should follow that person and learn from him. And once you can stand up on your feet, alhamdulillah, and start to investigate yourself, you can be on your own, inshallah.
What do you think is the best Muslim country to live in these days? With, I heard that apparently, there's countries are like the Muslim countries are drastically changing and all that, and they become more and more westernized. So I was wondering, is there any specific country you think is actually the closest to the Sharia?
This is not a one size that fits all. Countries differ in what you practice, in what you feel that you're able to do. In my point of view, the best of Islamic countries to live in is Saudi Arabia. Nothing beats being between Mecca and Jeddah. Regardless of what changes there might occur, we still have, alhamdulillah, Islam and Sharia and Tahfidh al-Quran, and people pray in the masjids without any restrictions, and we have scholars giving lectures and the like. So among all the countries, this is the best. Now, when it comes to other aspects where people would think that migrating to a Muslim country is required, such as the infrastructure, the technology, the ease of transportation to other countries, etc. This depends from one person to the other, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Shia says, can you tell me about Ahlul Hadith? Can we follow them? In my country, most people say that they are not good. We should not follow or listen to them. Is that true? First of all, Jasia, Ahlul Hadith is a name, a label. And everyone can claim the label and not necessarily be part of that school. So everybody says we are Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And so many of those who label themselves as Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah are actually deviant sects who do not relate to Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So Ahlul Hadith, Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, As-Salafiyya, they are all under the same umbrella that follows the Quran, the Sunnah, and the righteous predecessors in their understanding of all of that. Now, to just label yourself that you are from Ahlul Hadith is not sufficient. We have to scrutinize that person, see how his aqeedah is, and see whether he is actually part of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, implementing the correct aqeedah, following the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of the righteous predecessors or not. If he is, then he's from Ahlul Hadith, which is a positive thing. So why do many people in my country speak ill about them? Those who speak ill about Salafis or Ahlul Hadith or Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah are usually either deviant sects with corrupt aqeedah, and this is why they would like to tarnish their reputation so that they do not spread the authentic, valid aqeedah of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, or because they are blind followers of their school of thought. So anything that goes out of their school of thought, they consider that to be deviant, even if it's following the Quran and the Sunnah. Because of their blind following, they believe that anything that is out of their school of thought has to go against Islam. And that would be part of going against the Quran and the Sunnah, not knowing that this is the Quran and the Sunnah. So if you know what you're doing, and if you know who you're following, and which ideology, which methodology to be followed, which the Prophet ﷺ and his companions and the tabi'een and the tabi'at tabi'een used to follow, and you follow that, you could care less or more what people say. Who cares? I am following the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ. Whenever one says to me, why are you doing this? I said, because the Prophet ﷺ said so and so and so. Either they bring me another verse of the Quran or a hadith to contradict this, to counter it, or they would say, yeah, but Imam so and so says otherwise. I said, subhanallah, you follow your Imam, I follow my Imam, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So I hope this answers your question.